Okay, hello everyone. Let me know how the music quality is, how the audio quality is. If there's any trouble with the stream, make sure to refresh and it should all be fine. Let me know if the stream is running fine, if there's any lag. I think my internet should be fine, but just in case, let me know. So we got a lot of people in the chat. We got 200 people watching right now. We're sort of hovering around 150-ish earlier, but we seem to have shot straight back up over the last hour or so. So hello everyone in the stream. There's so many names, I don't know if I can say hi to everyone. Kurt, we've got Braden, Mr. Pickle, Leisha, Ballistic Boots, Charlotte Gale, Bartholomew. There's so many of you. Welcome all of you to my part of the show. And yeah, so I'm going to be hosting for the next hour. I'm going to be tracking Santa. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. So Santa was last seen in Da Nang, Vietnam, and now he's on his way to Hanoi, and that should be in just under a minute. He's delivered almost 1.7 billion gifts, which seems like a lot, but he has a lot of the world left to go. He's barely started his mission. He's still got all of Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Americas to go. So yeah, we've certainly got a lot more tracking to come. Daniel, yeah, I'm doing fine. It's been an amazing show so far. Yeah, it's been absolutely phenomenal. It's already our second highest viewed show ever, and we're definitely set on that record that we set last year. So make sure to invite all your friends and family to come along and watch the show, because this is an incredible year for us. Rocket says, when will Santa arrive in the UK? Well, you can check out Santa Tracking arrival map over on our website at santatracking.net/arrivaltime.html, and that will show you when Santa will be arriving at different places all over the world. So yeah, that's new for our website this year. If you're wondering when to go to bed, then that is your place to go to know when Santa will be arriving. But I believe Santa is expected to arrive in the UK just before midnight local times. That's about 8 hours from now, or just under that. Where do I live? I live in the UK. I live right between Portsmouth and Southampton on the south coast. Well, actually, I spend quite a lot of my time at uni in Warwickshire, but I've come home for the holidays, and I'm currently at my normal home down south. So where's Santa now? He's just reached Hanoi, Vietnam, and now he's on his way to Chiang Mai, Thailand. So I really hope anyone who lives in sort of the Southeast Asia area really gets to bed soon if they haven't already, because Santa is rapidly making his way through those countries right now. And I think we could also say anyone living in Central Asia and maybe even India should be getting to bed very soon, because Santa will be headed their way very shortly. If we look at the 2D map right now, we've got Santa right here in Vietnam, I think. Hang on, no, that's Laos. And now he's heading into Thailand, and he should be sort of heading around this way soon, probably to Myanmar, and then to a bit more of China and Russia up north here, before heading back down south to India. So he's really been making some rapid progress this year. It's only 4 PM UK time, but he's already like almost all the way through Southeast Asia already, which is pretty speedy time for Santa. I can't remember what sort of time he was making last year when he was around this part of the world, but I'm pretty sure to be in Southeast Asia by this sort of part of the day does mean that Santa is going very quickly. So let's get that 3D route back on there. So we've got Santa about to arrive in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Potter75 Wolf, yeah, I remember you from last year. It's great to see so many people showing up year after year. So that's Santa in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and now he's on his way to Vientiane, Laos in just over a minute. So really making those stops very rapidly, and we've got sort of that gift counter very slowly creeping towards 1.7 billion gifts. And that's not the only counter that's been creeping up more and more as the day's been going on. The number of likes on our stream, we've now hit 700, which is incredible. So, you know, I've got a goal for you. Why don't we try and get 750 by the end Hang on, no, that's too easy. Why don't we try and get 800 by the end of my hour? So if there's any of you who have just joined and you haven't liked the stream, make sure to smash that like button right now, and also subscribe to our channel so you can see our Santa cams, which we've been releasing throughout the day, and I'm sure there'll be many more of them later on in the day as Santa continues his journey. Hang on, I'm just going to get this NORAD map up like that into full screen so you got a bit of a better view there. So, Santa already approaching Vientiane, Laos in just over 10 seconds. Hello to you and your brother Denise. Yep, I remember you, William. Thanks very much for subscribing and liking Potter75 Wolf. We're now, I believe, I just need to refresh this, but I believe we're over 2.2k subs now. We actually started before the pre-show last night. I don't know if any of you were at the pre-show, but during that hour we reached the incredible milestone of 2,000 subscribers. So let's see if we can get close or even to 3,000 subscribers by the end of our show tomorrow morning at 5 AM EST. Let's see how many we can get. Can we get to 3,000? That would be incredible if we could. And Officer Malcolm, I find it funny how you can never sleep on Christmas Eve because you're so excited. Yes, I absolutely agree. But also for me, I was struggling to sleep last night because of how excited I was for the show. And yeah, that's generally on December 23rd. I find it equally, if even more, harder to sleep because of the show and Tracking Santa. But I guess it's not the greatest amount of sleep, but I believe I got about 4 hours last night. So hopefully, with any luck, that will make it a little bit easier to sleep tonight for the big day. So maybe not getting as much sleep on December 23rd is actually kind of a good thing if you get a bit more sleep the following night. Shalfilia, why isn't he landing anywhere? Well, he is landing anywhere, but Santa is making so many stops. The NORAD tracker can sort of only show him like going between locations, but in reality he's actually sort of stopping like at all of these towns here. I mean, look, there's like a town there. I mean, there's so many locations around it that Santa is stopping at, but he's going so fast and go to so many locations that the NORAD tracker couldn't show him stopping absolutely everywhere. Kurt Walker, thank you for coming along to the stream, and yeah, we'll see you later. Charlie Michelle, you did an all-nighter. Yeah, that is rough. I had to do a few of them at university. Definitely not because I left my coursework to the last minute, but I'm sort of used to those, and yeah, they are pretty rough. But it's not ideal to do an all-nighter. Usually, even a bit of sleep is better than none at all. Dylan asks, am I hosting later tonight? Yes, I am. I am hosting for this hour, and then I am hosting also at 9 PM GMT or 4 PM EST for another hour. So I'm hosting for an incredible 2 hours this year. You get to see 2 hours of me hosting Tracking Santa around the world. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Oh dear. Santa's on his way to Burma now. He's just arriving there now. So where will he head next? He's heading to Tibet, China. So if you're in China or Central Asia, definitely get to bed now because Santa is heading your way. Reflex, yeah, I do remember you, and I remember you from the pre-show last night as well. And I think you were also at the Cam Marathon, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's great to see people showing up to so much of our stuff that we do. Yeah, China bedtime alert indeed. Hello, Michael Redenius. When will Santa get to Michigan? Well, that'll be quite a while from now. I imagine he'll get to the UK in about 8 hours, and then it should be another 3 or 4 hours before he's sort of heading into the Midwest US. So I reckon about 11 or 12 hours from now. But remember that you can always look at the arrival time map at santatracking.net/arrivaltime.html to see when Santa will be arriving in your location. What time will Santa get to Torquay? Well, I believe when he arrives in England, that will be one of the very first locations he visits, so probably in just under 8 hours. Yeah, you'll hit the USA not for another 11 or 12 hours at the earliest. And indeed, Leisha, the year has gone incredibly quickly. I remember it feels like only yesterday that it was summer, and then the autumn just flew by because I was so busy with university work. And then all of a sudden it was December. I was like, okay, where did that year go? And then here we are. December flew by as well, and all of a sudden it's tracking day. And in a week from now it'll be 2022. So yeah, the time flies. So Santa is making steady progress through Asia, and now he's on his way to Lhasa, Tibet in just over 2 minutes. So let's sort of zoom out to see where he's been. Yeah, so now he's sort of, I think he's heading sort of into India a little bit, and I believe he'll be stopping there properly later, but he's sort of got to head across the Himalayas a little bit into China. Oh, you live in Bristol? That's awesome. I'm only about 2 hours-ish from Bristol. I'm just down on the south coast, near Portsmouth. Do I like history? I'm not a massive history buff, but I kind of, if I was to choose a time period, it'd probably be the more modern stuff, like the 20th century. But I didn't study history at school beyond the age of about 14 because of the way the education system works in the UK. I didn't choose it beyond that. You live in Dubai? That's also amazing. I'd love to go there one day, but I think Santa will be there in about 3 or 4 hours. So in only a few hours from now, Louise, you should think about going to bed, because it is not long until Santa arrives there. Joanne, Santa already came to your country. That is awesome. I hope you got whatever you wanted for Christmas, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Yeah, bedtime alert for Bhutan for sure, and also there's other countries near India like Nepal, for example. I think Santa will sort of be heading like right along the Himalayas over the next hour or so. How many languages does Santa speak? Probably quite a few. I imagine if he's been living for so long and if he travels to so many countries, then he will certainly be picking up languages as he goes along over the years. I guess you just sort of pick up the lingo, especially as you're sort of flying around foreign countries. I'm sure he speaks a fair bit. And yeah, as Braden put the link in the chat, if you want to apply for Team YANTSU, maybe it could be you next year. Maybe you could be here streaming to hundreds of people Santa tracking, or maybe hosting isn't more your thing and you want to be sort of more behind the scenes, sort of social media, moderating the chat, that kind of thing. That's also essential for the smooth running of our show. But if you're interested in any of that, then make sure to head over to santatracking.net/apply.html and fill in our application. Make sure to fill it in thoroughly, and we'll get back to you by about mid to late January. So that's Santa in Lhasa, Tibet, and now he's on his way to Zhangyi, China in about 4 minutes. William asked, what am I going to do today? Well, I'm going to be tracking Santa with you guys for the next hour, and then I'm probably going to have dinner. And then after that, I'm sort of going to be working on some social media shifts. I think I'm doing Facebook and Instagram later tonight. And then I'm going to be doing one more hosting shift at 9 PM GMT. That's going to be awesome. Who is on next? Well, that is Connor. Connor, not the one, if any of you remember, 2 years ago we had someone called Connor hosting. Well, this is a different Connor. He's from South Carolina, and he'll be hosting for the first time ever. He's been in the team for a few years now, but he'll be hosting for the first time in an hour, just under an hour from now, in about 50 minutes. So make sure to give him a lot of support when he comes on. I'm sure he'll do a fantastic job. Morgzilla, what do I study? I study computer science. It's a pretty intense course, but I'm enjoying it. It's been a pretty stressful term, but it's nice to finally have something to it's nice to have something to look forward to over the busy times, and finally sort of relax a bit after all those weeks of hard studying and all that. It's only 4:30. Yeah, indeed. Well, I guess it, as I said earlier, being tired may be a good thing, because if you're able to get to sleep, then Santa will be able to arrive in your house and deliver presents. It's 3 AM for you. Wow. I'm guessing. So I guess in Santa, you're opening your presents already. Wow, 3 AM opening your presents. I guess you really can't wait to see what you've got. Well, I hope you get whatever you ask for. And yeah, Potter75 Wolf, I'm sure you're on the nice list, and I'm sure you're going to get whatever you ask Santa for. So we've still got Santa heading north right now. He's delivered over 1.7 billion gifts by now. I think he should be approaching that 2 billion gift mark soonish, but I think at the moment he's sort of over some very barren lands. It's sort of the middle of nowhere where Santa is right now, very unpopulated, so the gift count might not go up as fast as it has been doing, like as it was earlier when he was over Southeast Asia. I guess he's sort of got to head over those really remote areas to get to all these towns, but there won't be many people living around here. Then we'll stand to reach India, probably not far from now. I think maybe about an hour from now Santa would be in India, so I'd recommend getting to bed fairly soon. Santa's done an excellent job throughout the duration of his journey. Yeah, I believe everything has indeed gone smoothly for Santa so far. Yeah, there's been no delays for him. I think he might be a bit ahead of schedule. So there's about a minute left till Zhangyi, China. I reckon after this he'll probably head into Siberia. So what, we got 714 likes right now. Make sure to like that stream if you haven't already. So I said 800 likes by the end of the hour. Now we're quarter of the way through the hour. We got 716 likes out. Just saw it go up a bit. So we might need to pick up the pace a little bit to get to 800. But I have faith in you guys. We're 717 now. We're almost a quarter of the way from 700 to 800. So I think if we keep going at this pace, we've got a fairly good chance to get into 800. I reckon we'll, at the very least, we'll get 750. I mean. Where is Rudolph the reindeer? Well, he is, of course, at the very front of the sleigh, leading the way, as always, especially if there's bad weather or anything that might potentially stop Santa from seeing as well as he might be able to normally. I'm sure Rudolph has been instrumental in helping Santa get around the world when it might be a little bit more difficult due to weather or other potential conditions. So, and also looking at the number of subscribers, we're now at 2.26k. So I reckon we can get 2.3k at the very least by the end of my hour. So make sure to subscribe to our stream, to our channel if you haven't already, and you'll be notified of all of our later Santa cams that come out. If you haven't seen them, then our Santa cams complement Nora's cams, and they're on our channel, and they show Santa flying around the world and visiting different locations. So now he's on his way to Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia in about 2 minutes. So really, sort of over the middle of a desert at the moment, it seems. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a while before Santa's really reaching the populated areas again. He's sort of going over really remote areas at the moment. Why is Santa wearing a mask? Well, he is immune to COVID, but he wants to take the precautions just in case. He would never want to try any risk when delivering presents. So just as a precaution, even though it's very unlikely he would spread COVID, he wears a mask just to keep us all safe. We want Santa to be over London. Well, that'll be when he reaches the UK in just under 8 hours from now. So we've got Santa almost in Ulaanbaatar in just over a minute from now. And I think he should head north further into Siberia and then probably back down south to India, South Asia, that kind of way. When is he going to be in Canada? Not for a long time. Not for another good 11 or 12 hours. Remember that we have the arrival time map on our website where you can see when Santa will be in your area, so you can see when you should go to bed to be asleep in time for him to arrive at your house and deliver presents. Yeah, my day is going fantastic, Ryan. We've had an absolutely phenomenal stream so far with NORAD. Yeah, we've had one of our most successful streams ever. 215 watching right now. Quinn, you were watching at midnight. Well, yeah, I was up for the start of the show when Liam was hosting the early morning preparations of Santa, and that was at 7 AM my time, so now it's sort of 4 PM, so I've been watching and helping out with the show pretty much the entire day. Who's the next host? It will be Connor, a first time host, but a member of YANTSU for many years now. What's my favourite thing about Christmas? I think it's just the overall feeling of Christmas. It's just wonderful, magical. Just all the build up to it especially, and the TrackingSanta, sort of the culmination of all of that. I just love sort of the feeling that you get around this time of year, really. What time is it for me? It's 4:20. And Santa has just reached Ulaanbaatar, and as predicted, he is heading north to Norilsk, Russia, which I believe is sort of right in the middle of nowhere, far north Siberia. So yeah, really visiting those remote locations right now. How long till I go to bed? I will probably go to bed around 11 PM my time. That will give me time to get to sleep before Santa arrives here. Yeah, the UK is indeed getting dark. I think if I look outside my window now, yeah, it's definitely darkened quite a bit. That's why I've got my light on in here, so you can see me well. What's my name? I'm Max. Nick will not be hosting this year, but he's been helping out with a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and he's also been a great help throughout the year and sort of planning and organising a lot of the stuff for the show. William, why do we only host for 1 hour? Well, some of us have longer shifts, like Liam was hosting for 5 hours earlier. It's just sort of the way that we schedule hosting. A lot of because we've had a lot of hosts this year. We've got 9 hosts this year, which means we've sort of had to squeeze in a lot of people, and that means a lot of our hosts have shorter shifts, only 1 or 2 hours. But Connor is going to be hosting for 2 hours after my shift, so he'll be taking you from the end of this hour for the following 2 hours after that. And then it will be Tom will be back for another hour, and then Connor again for another hour, and then I'll be back at 9 PM GMT, and that's also 4 PM EST. Yeah, Santa is indeed in Siberia, and he's still 5 minutes away from Norilsk, so we've got a bit of time. So I'm actually wondering, I'm surprised no one's been talking about this in the chat, but the ISS, I'm sure that's got to be somewhere around here. And we haven't had Santa intersect that yet, but I believe as the ISS is on the NORAD map, he should intersect it soon. But I believe it's currently over the Pacific Ocean, so it might be a while before Santa visits the ISS. He sort of has to time it right, so that when he's flying, he sort of flies around the same part of the world that the ISS is in. Otherwise, it would be kind of hard to reach it. Yeah, it is in the Pacific right now, and Santa's over Siberia, so it should be a bit of a while before we've got him visiting the ISS. And hello, Mark. I hope Santa got you what you wanted. It's good to still see you around. I guess Christmas must be underway for you by now. Yeah, bedtime alert for Kazakhstan. Yeah, and also for India, I think, and the other sort of Central Asian countries. Anyone in that part of the world should be getting to bed soon. Shout out Merry Christmas to Liam. Yeah, I hope you have a great Christmas. Hope you get what you want, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Yeah, Central Asia, definitely. Anyone in that sort of part of the world should be getting to bed very soon indeed. You won't get into the US at least until midnight. Yeah, probably around about midnight local time. He should be in the US. Mongolia better. I believe he has already been to part of Mongolia at least, but later on he might go back to do some part of Mongolia that he didn't do the first time. Hello Team Ice, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great Christmas Eve. So we're where are we? We're almost at 1.8 billion gifts, and we're at 726 likes. So let's see if we can get 750. So make sure to like that if you haven't already. I'm sure you guys can do it. I mean, there's 207 of you watching right now. For any of you who just joined, make sure to like that right now. Mozilla, you'll be here all night. Well, the best of luck with that. I hope Santa is able to deliver to you at some point. 217 watching right now, but yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, indeed, make me proud. Smash that like button. We're on 727, 728 right now. We're approaching that 750 mark. We're 3/4 of the way to 1,000. Yeah, thank you very much for liking if you have, and make sure to do that if you haven't already. And we're let me just refresh that. I think we must be approaching 2.3k subscribers right now. And yeah, we're at 2.28, so that is 20 more people. There must be 20 of you who've just joined. Why not go and subscribe to us? Why not be notified of when our Santa cams come out, so you can be the first to hear about them and watch them. India go to bed indeed. I think he'll be sort of turning around and then heading into India shortly. Will you show us the next Santa cam? Yes, when it comes out, I will be sure to show you that. Thank you very much for subscribing. So it's about a minute away from Norilsk right now. I think it looks like maybe Santa might be about to turn around. I think, is Norilsk quite north in Russia? I think it might be. Yeah, he's sort of like right up at this sort of very northern part of Russia right now. So I don't know if he'll be heading even further north, or if this is the point where he will sort of be delivering around here. So I'm sure he wouldn't miss any of the sort of towns or villages up this part of the world. But I think he might sort of be getting to the point where he'd be heading back south into Central Asian countries and India. So yeah, it's about 15 seconds from now. We're very close to 1.8 billion gifts. I don't think Santa is going to quite reach the 2 billion gift mark during my part of the show, but I think he will reach it when Connor is hosting, so that's very exciting. But of course, Santa is nowhere near done, and he has much more to deliver. Normally delivers well over 7 billion gifts now, especially with the rising world population. I think it will be somewhere around 7.5 billion gifts before Santa is done. So I think Santa's not even a third of the way through his overall gift delivering mission. He's still got so much of Asia, Europe and Africa and the Americas left to go. Hello Henry, good to see you again. I've seen you around earlier today. It's great to see you around again. So that Santa just visited Norilsk, and then now he's heading, I think, back south to Novosibirsk, Russia. So I think that's still pretty remote, but he's sort of heading back towards where it is less the middle of nowhere, basically. He's heading into Central Asian countries eventually. And when he gets to India, that's a very heavily populated area, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of gifts to deliver at that point. When should you go to bed if you're in the UK? Well, you should go to bed by about 11 PM latest. We're expecting Santa in the UK just before midnight, which you can see on our arrival time map at santatracking.net/arrivaltime.html. Yeah, he is indeed heading back south. I think he's heading pretty quick. So whereas Norilsk was all the way back up there, and in the space of a few minutes he's sort of really covered quite a lot of ground. I guess there's not a lot to deliver here, so that allows him to travel a little bit quicker, but he is really heading south through Russia very fast, and looks like Novosibirsk might be almost back to the southern part of Russia. And yeah, Alex has put the arrival time map in the chat there, and that's a very cool tool that you can use to see when Santa will be in your area and when to go to bed. And thank you very much for subscribing, Atlanta Braves fan. Let me just refresh our sub count that I have up here. Okay, yeah, we're still on 2.28, but I'm sure we can close that gap and get to 2.3k by the end of my shift. So he's going pretty quick. He's well over 1.8 billion now. So what do you guys all want for Christmas this year? Personally, I haven't really asked for much apart from clothes. I'm sort of at that age really where there's not really many things that I actually need for Christmas, but I just sort of have to ask for something, I guess. So I mean, maybe some cool new clothes to spice up my wardrobe a little bit would be nice. Oh, Potter75 Wolf wants a new keyboard and mouse. Yeah, that's really cool. I recently got a new mouse. It's a very nice mouse. Certainly nice to use. I've also got this headset. I got that earlier in the year, and that is certainly a big improvement from the headphones that I had last year. Certainly better on the ears and probably better mic quality as well. So hopefully that's a good improvement for you guys. So it's about 1.5 minutes left of Novosibirsk. Where is he sort of heading now? Yeah, I think Kazakhstan might be next. So if you're in Kazakhstan, I heavily recommend getting to bed now. We've definitely got Santa on that southbound trajectory. Lisha, you want a VR headset? Yeah, I had one of those a while ago, but I can't remember what happened to it. So that sounds really cool. I hope you get that. Mark, you say your parents haven't let you open the presents yet. Well, hopefully they will soon. I'm sure you're very eager to, and I'm sure you've got everything that you asked for from Santa. On Google Santa Tracker, it says he's in China. Well, Google is not very accurate because Google uses Wi-Fi hotspots, while NORAD uses military technology, including radar and satellites. So NORAD have a much more accurate picture of where Santa is in the world at any point. So now he's just about to arrive in Novossibirsk. Where will he head next? In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now he is heading to Astana, Kazakhstan. So definitely, if you're in Kazakhstan right now, I heavily recommend going to bed. And I've heard that we're on 2.29 thousand subscribers. So literally, we need 10 of you, or even less than 10 of you, to subscribe. So if you're sitting in there in that chat, if you're one of those 223 people and you haven't subscribed, make sure to click down below and subscribe right now. Let's get us to 2.3k. I think we can easily get that before the end of my hosting shift. We're only just about halfway through it now. So yeah, definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Indeed, always trust NORAD over Google. They have been tracking Santa for a lot longer. They've been tracking Santa since 1955, and Google have been tracking since 2004. So NORAD have had the time. Well, not only do they have more accurate technologies, but they've had the time to perfect their Santa tracking, and so that they're always able to get it accurately each year. And hello, Rob. It is good to see you here again. Yeah, it's great to see you year in, year out. Always come into these shows. I saw you earlier in the chat as well. Hope you're having a great Christmas Eve. What is the website to the arrival times? I believe it was posted up in the chat just a short while ago, but it is santatracking.net/arrivaltime.html. So that's Santa crossing into Kazakhstan right now. So I really hope if you're in Kazakhstan, you're in bed by now. And Mr. Pickle, yeah, I wish you all the best of luck for when you apply to Team YANTSU. I'm sure you'd be a great member. And yeah, Alex has posted that arrival time map in the chat. I'm sure that has been very useful for many of you for seeing sort of what time you might want to be heading to bed. The way we made that map was we've collected data from many of Santa's past journeys. We've sort of seen like when he's arrived at different places around the world in different years, and we've sort of collated together the data and come up with sort of a prediction of when we believe that Santa will arrive in that location around that time. Of course, it might not be accurate, but it is our best guess of what would be a good time for you to go to bed. Of course, Santa can be unpredictable. You never quite know when Santa might choose to go to a certain location. Of course, his journey can be impacted by stuff like weather, but that's sort of the best prediction that we have of Santa's arrival time. Yeah, severe bedtime warning. Yeah, it's not just a normal bedtime warning now. It is indeed a severe bedtime warning for all of the Central Asia. I really hope anyone in that part of the world is in bed by now. Yeah, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan, I believe he'll be visiting soon. So we've got him in Kazakhstan at 4:30 PM GMT, 11:30 AM EST, which I believe is very early for him to be in Kazakhstan. I think it's only about 10:30, maybe 9:30 in Kazakhstan right now, so he is certainly making some good time. And that could suggest he'd be arriving to places a little bit earlier than we may have forecast, so keep that in mind when deciding when to go to bed. It's snowing for you and you're in the UK. Well, it's certainly not snowing here. It's been cloudy, and well, sort of half cloudy this morning, and now I think it is raining right now. Let me just check. Yeah, I think it's raining. It looks a little bit wet. We've certainly had a bit of a wet Christmas this year. I think it's meant to rain tomorrow as well, so much for a white Christmas. Yeah. We had a bit of snow where I am at uni back in November, but that's about it, unfortunately. We don't get much snow, especially down here on the south coast. I don't think I've ever had a white Christmas in my lifetime, sadly. I'm sure many of you here will have had one, but yeah, just the UK is very bad for snow, especially where I'm from. It isn't snowing in New Zealand. Well, I guess it's summer there, so but yeah, I guess it would be pretty unlikely for it to snow there. You'll be in India soon. Yeah, he will. I think probably within about an hour from now he should be in India. So if you're in India, definitely get to bed. Maybe even a severe bedtime alert would be in order at this point. I'd heavily recommend going to bed if you're in India. Where is Santa going? He's heading to Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, in just under 2 minutes from now. And I think after that he might be heading to India, or he'll sort of be around like Nepal, Bhutan, sort of Central Southern Asia. Your entire city is covered in snow in Michigan. Wow, I would certainly love to have a white Christmas one day. To be honest, I can't even remember the last time it snowed, apart from the little bit that we got back in November. Yeah, I can't remember the last time it properly snowed. Whenever it snows in the UK, the media freak out about it, but it's always the most piddliest amount. We get about like 2 centimeters of snow, and then all the schools are shut, everything is closed, everyone panics, we're all gonna die. That is a summary of snow in the UK. I'm sure in other countries where it snows a bit more, you'd be laughing at us for that. What's my favourite thing about Christmas dinner? Well, it absolutely has to be the pigs in blankets. Nothing can beat that. I mean, what could be a sausage wrapped in bacon? I think that is about as good as it can get. So I cannot wait for that tomorrow. Definitely a part of Christmas to look forward to and savour. Will we post a live stream on your channel? Well, I believe we've encouraged members to record their parts of the stream. I should be recording my part of the stream, and we will be uploading the footage probably bit by bit over early 2022, just to keep the channel active over those off-season months. What am I doing Christmas Day? Well, I'm going to be waking up, I'll be opening presents in the morning, probably have a nice Christmas dinner early afternoon, and then just sort of chill, maybe watch some good TV in the evening. It will be a fairly chill day for me. It's been a busy time both in my life and in YANTSU. We've been incredibly busy over the past few months preparing for this show. And that Santa has reached Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, and now he's on his way to Gangtok in India. So indeed, a severe bedtime alert, I think, is indeed in order for India. If you're in India, then definitely go to bed right now. Do not hesitate. Turn off the stream, go to bed if you're in India. Santa is almost at your house. Last year there was a cam in the Taj Mahal. Yeah, I believe there is normally a NORAD cam in the Taj Mahal. Unfortunately, some of the NORAD cams earlier we've had some trouble playing with. Sorry. But hopefully this one will be alright. We did have a little bit of trouble with the DSP and Sydney cams earlier. Hopefully I'm able to play those when Santa arrives at those cam locations. Yeah, of course, Santa is real. Why would the US military spend so much time each year tracking him if he wasn't real? I think Santa's in India now. Maybe. Hang on, no, he's not near India. He's kind of in the middle. He's in the middle of a desert right now, but he is heading south into India, and he sort of should be sort of along like Himalayas, maybe Nepal, Bhutan, very shortly. He also said he's delivered 2.5 billion gifts already. Well, I guess the thing with the gift count is it's very hard to estimate accurately. I guess they sort of, well, NORAD and Google would both have to sort of go off like population sizes in different parts of the world to sort of give a rough estimate of how much Santa is delivered. But it's sort of never something that you can be 100% accurate with, because no one really knows like how much Santa is actually delivering in each location. But I guess the 1.87 billion gift mark given by NORAD is sort of an estimate of how much they think he's delivered. What am I going to do after Christmas? Well, I need to. I'll probably take a short break, and I need to get working on some coursework. I've sort of been putting that off a little bit, but when I go back to uni, I've got something due in, so I'll be working on that. I know, a very fun way to spend your Christmas break. You've been watching since 4 AM EST, awesome. Yeah, Santa has certainly been travelling for a long time. He was beginning his preparations around that time, and now he's already halfway around the world. What's my favourite Christmas movie? I think it has to be Elf. I was watching that the other day on TV, and I was reminded of how good it is. And I believe we have just reached 2.3 thousand subscribers, so thank you all very much for whoever subscribed. Now let's try to get to 2.4k. I think it might be a little bit of a stretch to get it before the end of my hour, but come on, let's try and push as much as we can. 2.4k, let's go. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to do that now. You have to go to sleep at 10 PM. You're in New York. Yeah, that's a reasonable time to go to bed. I say Santa should be in sort of the East Coast by around 10 PM EST. So if you go to bed around 10 PM, you'll probably be fine by the time he's in New York. When is he at England? Probably about 7 hours from now, at a rough guess. Yeah, Santa is indeed real NA trackers. Otherwise, NORAD wouldn't be tracking him, and we wouldn't be spending all this time each year streaming the tracking of Santa. So I think Santa still appears to be in sort of a bit of a desert area at the moment. Yeah, I think he's in China right now, maybe delivering to some people that he wasn't able to deliver to earlier. So he should be heading right over the Himalayas right now, and then south into India. What time do you need to go to bed in England? Well, I'd say about 11 PM GMT at the absolute latest. Probably wouldn't push it any further than that. You're going to bed about 8 PM in Scotland. But yeah, that's pretty early, but I'm sure at least you'll be in bed in time for Santa to arrive. Does Santa have fun doing all this? Well, I'm sure it's pretty tiring. I'm sure when he gets back to the North Pole, he must take a long nap after arriving back. But I'm sure he has fun if he does it every year. I'm sure he loves delivering and delivering Christmas joy to the hearts of children all over the world. What time should you go to bed in the United States? Well, it very much depends on whereabouts in the United States you live, so definitely head over to santatracking.net/arrivaltime.html, and you can see the different states of the US. We've sort of predicted what time he might arrive in each of those. So I think Santa is now finally arriving in India. I certainly hope everyone in India is in bed right now. In about 20 seconds he'll be in Gangtok, and I'm sure he'll be heading further south into India after this. NORAD spelled India wrong. Oh yeah, they did. Yeah. Hopefully that was only this stop. Hopefully they won't have spelled it wrong for the other stops as well. Thimphu, Bhutan now. I guess with Santa's location changing so rapidly, it must be quite hard for NORAD to be constantly changing the location. That's probably why they got it slightly wrong there. What time will you end the stream and go to bed? Well, I will be finishing my hosting session at the end of this hour, but we will be continuing the stream after that. We've got many other hosts lined up, and the stream will end at 5 AM EST, which is 10 AM GMT. Connor will be following me at the end of this hour. 5 likes away from 750. Yeah, definitely. Let's try and get to 750. I'm sure we can make it. There's only 5 more of you. We've got 257 watching right now, so I'm sure there's a few of you who haven't liked that yet. Make sure to like that now. And that's Santa in Thimphu, Bhutan already, and now he's on his way to Dhaka, Bangladesh, in just under a minute. And now we're almost at 1.9 billion. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe we might actually reach that 2 billion mark by the end of my shift. And we've got 15 minutes left, but it does appear to be going up quite quickly now. I think there's a reasonable chance we get to 2 billion by the end of the hour. Now it's already, yeah, it's 1.9 billion now. So yeah, it's certainly going up pretty quick. Severe bed warning for India, indeed. Yeah, and bed warning for Bangladesh as well. I think you should certainly be going to bed if you live there. You feel sick on Christmas? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope this stream at least is able to bring you some Christmas joy, and you're able to somewhat enjoy Christmas, even though you're feeling a little bit ill right now. I know it kind of sucks to feel sick at Christmas at all times. Feel sick at Christmas must be worse than any other time of the year, so I hope you get well soon. So I believe we've reached 750 likes, so thank you all very much for liking that stream. Let's see if we can get it even higher. Let's see if we can get as close to 800 as possible by the end of my hour. And that's Santa past Dhaka, Bangladesh now. Now he's on his way to Kolkata, India in 30 seconds. And I believe Eleonora just spelled India right this time, so that's good. There's only one location that spelled it a little bit wrong. So in 15 seconds he'll be there. I wonder where you'll head next. Maybe it'll be further into India, maybe it'll be back up north into Central Asian countries. So what's that? 1, 0, and now he's on to Kathmandu, Nepal. And it seems like he's slowed down quite a bit, so I'm guessing he's delivering a lot to all of the people who live in India. There's probably quite a lot of them. It's a very densely populated area, so there's a lot of gifts to deliver. And now we're already at 1.91 billion, so maybe we'll reach that 2 billion mark by the end of my hour. We'll have to wait and see. So I think, what's that, a minute and a half, is that sort of heading north from here? Yeah, so Nepal's sort of over here, I think, and then I think after that it should be more of India, maybe south over the Indian Ocean. Yeah, indeed we are in India now, so definitely if you're in India then you should be in bed by now. Did someone say Santa Cam? Did I miss one? I don't think I did. Oh no, last one was Southeast Asia. Okay, never mind. There isn't a Santa Cam. What am I having on Christmas Day to eat? Well, I'm having a roast dinner. I'm having a roast dinner, turkey, roast potatoes, all the veg, gravy, Yorkshire puddings, pigs in blankets, all that fun stuff. And I can't wait, especially the pigs in blankets. That's the best part, by far. You can't beat pigs in blankets. Over 750 likes indeed. Yeah, we're now at 755. Let's see if we can get to 770 by the end of my hosting shift. There'll be a NORAD in YANTSU camp in New Delhi, I think. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I believe traditionally there has been a NORAD camp at New Delhi. So when Santa gets there, we will have to see if there's a cam. So he should be in Nepal in about 5 seconds from now, and let's see where you'll head next. His next location will be Missouri, India, but I am receiving reports that we have a new YANTSU cam, so I will play that now for you guys.
Santa and the reindeer have now reached one of the colder parts of their journey, the tallest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. Situated on the border between China and Nepal, and at a height of over 29,000 feet, it's almost as high as the cruising altitude of a passenger plane. That's pretty far up. It's safe to say that Santa will probably choose to fly the sleigh around rather than over the mountain. For SantaTracking.net, I'm Chief Pilot Nick Tay.
Right, well I hope you guys enjoyed that cam very much. That was Santa flying over Mount Everest. I hope you're all enjoying the cams so far this year, and if you are enjoying them and you haven't subscribed to our channel, then make sure to do that now, and you'll be notified of when the future Santa cams come out. So yeah, if you want to watch that cam again, then we've got that linked up in the chat for you right there. Have you noticed that Santa's wearing a face mask? Indeed I have. That is, of course, to keep everyone safe. Santa is taking all the precautions necessary with COVID. So Santa is now on his way to Missouri, India in just over a minute, and we're at 1.93 billion gifts, so it's really sort of neck and neck whether we reach that 2 billion gift mark or whether that will be left for Connor's hour. Is Santa ahead of schedule? Yes, I believe he is. He is in India, and it is not even 5 PM GMT yet, and I believe that's pretty early for him to be in India. I think it's only about 10:30 in India at the moment, so he is certainly ahead of where he should be right now. So he's sort of heading right over the Himalayas right now. Probably a lot of these small towns and villages here he's delivering to, and that gift count is going up and up. And how many likes have we got now? We've got 760. Come, let's try and get 770. Actually, no, let's try and get 775 by the end of my hour. Maybe we didn't quite get to 800, but let's see if we can get 3/4 of the way there. Let's try and get 775 by the end of my hour. We've got 9 minutes to do it. I'm sure you guys can get there. You want a Nintendo? Well, I hope Santa gets you that. I'm sure he will. So we've got Santa heading to New Delhi now in just under a minute, and I believe, as some people pointed out earlier in the chat before, we should be getting a NORAD cam. Sorry, I believe I should have had that on full screen. I forgot to put that bit after I played the YANTSU cam, but that's on full screen for you guys now. 30 seconds until Santa is in New Delhi, so I believe he'll be visiting the Taj Mahal, and maybe we'll get a NORAD cam from that as we have done in previous years. Let's see if we get a cam indeed. You got a PS5, wow, that is awesome. Can someone work in Santa's workshop in the North Path? They have elf ancestry in their family, or do they need to be 100% elf? I'm not sure how that works. I'm not really sure too much about how Santa's elves are recruited or anything like that. So have we got a cam? Indeed we do, so I will play that for you guys now. Taj Mahal, India. Okay, yeah, it's working fine. Let's play that. I'll mute my music quickly. Let me just do that. Let me get back on there, and I'll play the cam.
So far, Santa's had a smooth flight this year. He's not encountered any difficulties, which is great news for us here at NORAD. The Santa Cam's last spotted Santa flying over India's famous Taj Mahal. What a sight! Did you know that India has a population of more than 1 billion people? That's about 950 people per square mile. Wow! Santa and his team of reindeer are making great time, and we think they may be a few minutes ahead of schedule. Keep checking back with us here at NORAD for updates on Santa's location.
Okay, and that was the Taj Mahal cam for 2021. I'll just get my music back on there, and we had confirmation from the one and only Carl Front that Santa is indeed ahead of schedule. So yeah, definitely head to bed maybe a bit earlier than you might have otherwise, because Santa is heading your way very soon. And I'll see you later, Rocket. Have a nice lunch. When does he come to New York? Probably about 11 or 12 hours from now. I think he'll be heading up the East Coast around that time. And it's almost the end of my shift, so I will be switching over to Connor at the end of the hour. I'm sure he's a new time host, his first time host, and I'm sure he'll do a fantastic job. Make sure to give him loads of love and support when he comes on. So I think we've got Santa heading all the way down India right now. We've got him on his way from New Delhi to Sri Lanka, and that is all the way down here. So we've got Santa definitely visiting all of these cities on his way through India. And indeed, you can go and apply to Team YANTSU at santatracking.net/apply.html if you want to be a part of our team for the 2022 tracking season. So that's 1.96 billion almost. I think it might have slowed down a little bit again. Maybe we're not going to quite get to that 2 billion mark before the end of my hour. Big lurch, no, we have not had an ISS intersection yet. Last I checked, the ISS was over the Pacific, but Santa's currently over India right now, so it might be a bit of a while before we get an intersection. But I'm sure that will happen before Santa gets back to the North Pole. I'm sure he'll find a way to time his approach right so he's able to visit it. How many presents has he delivered? Well, that is right up here, the gift delivered count. That is almost 1.96 billion, which is an absolutely incredible amount, but there's still so much more to be delivered as Santa continues his journey. Yeah, indeed, almost 2 billion, Mr. Bickle. So 3.5, I think he's about halfway between New Delhi and Colombo right now. And thank you very much for subscribing, William. I believe we are well over 2.3k now, which is absolutely incredible. We've gained over 300 since we started our stream this morning. The ISS east of the Caribbean, is it? Well, let me check that. I think, as it sort of headed... Oh yeah, it seems to have headed over maybe South America right now. Now it's over... It's just near the Caribbean, so might be a bit of a while before we get that intersection. So I believe Connor will be on shortly. We have almost reached the end of my hosting session. The time has absolutely flown by, but I'm sure you're going to love Connor, and I'm sure he's going to do an amazing job for his first time hosting. Do you think NORAD is better than Google? Well, yeah, I think all of us here at Team YANTSU think that NORAD is definitely the more accurate tracker with more accurate technology, and that they're able to give a better picture of where Santa is at any given moment. Yeah, it has been a fantastic hour. You've all been great in the chat, but it is not over for me yet. I'll be back in 4 hours' time for 9 PM GMT, 4 PM EST. I absolutely cannot wait for that shift. It's going to be epic. Yeah, bedtime alert for Sri Lanka, probably for the rest of India. Anyone in that part of the world should go to bed. Google also has no cams, that is a good point. NORAD has cams, and so do we have cams. You want a Lego Harry Potter Diagon Alley set for Christmas? Yeah, I used to love those sets when I was younger. I used to always be asking for Lego sets for Christmas. They're always top of my list, and I always just love spending Christmas Day building them and then playing around with them. Good times. When will he be in Pennsylvania? Not for a good 12 or 13 hours at least. So you've certainly got plenty of time to track Santa before he arrives in your location. Christmas is here for you in 2 minutes. That is awesome. I hope you have a great Christmas day. Yeah, as Patrick says, I'll be back at 4 PM EST, 9 PM GMT. I think we've got Santa just crossing over this little bit of water here. Now he's delivering to Sri Lanka. I don't think it'll be too long in Sri Lanka before he either heads south, further into the Indian Ocean and the islands there, or you might head back north into India and then to other Central Asian countries and do more of Russia as well. He is certainly making his way through Asia quickly. When will Santa visit Arizona? That won't be for a very long time. Maybe how long we're thinking? We're looking at about 14 hours ish, I reckon, before he's in Arizona, before he's in that part of the US. Right, so that is about it for me. Thank you very much. I am about to stop streaming.